What's up, everybody? Brand new event, Challenge and Conquer event. Better than the average event, some of the events that we have been getting. I'm looking at you spin the lucky wheel event where you're like,
you got mana, you got mana again, you got energy this time. What?
Like, oh, no. I'm not looking at you, though, default 4-star monster event. I'm not, that's a good event, that's a good event. Anyway, massive update, special event. Also, a little extra tip, because I know some of you guys are having trouble with some of the B12 dungeons. A little extra tip for Giants B12. Super easy, cheesy, cheap, easy. Did I say easy and cheesy? Unit to stick in there to just make your Giants B12 super successful with just one little unit that you don't even have to fully max building. It's super easy. Anyway, Pega, tell me now. You can skip to the timestamp if you want. Anyway, we have they skip to the timestamp. What's up, everyone still watching? Everyone else is. I don't just want to see the timestamp, Pega. I don't care about the rest of this thing. We're just going over this event anyway. We got the mana and energy. Of course, they have to give us mana and energy. The things that like make it seem like it's it's filler. It's filler prizes. That's what it is. It's like when you go to a Halloween thing, someone's house for Halloween, and they're like, we have the little, those cheap little art. People that don't live in America probably don't understand. Maybe they don't. Maybe you do. I don't know. Maybe you do style. I don't know Halloween in other cultures. Anyway, those little orange candies. We're not even talking about the event anymore. The little wrapper orange candy that's like it costs like 2 cents to make those. That's the mana energy. That's the equivalent of the mana energy. Anyway, we have the changes every day thing. We get the mystical scrolls. I think there's also going to be some summoning stones here. And what else? Maybe some pieces of like legendary or light dark. I'm not entirely sure, because don't we have those sometimes for those changes every day? And then once you get to 200 points acquired for the day, you get a rare plus artifact. Very nice. But I mean, you could also get rare plus artifacts by building the dungeon teams. There's some easy dungeon teams to build, at least for the Steel Fortress. The Steel Fortress is easier than the Punisher's Crypt. Yeah, I remembered him this time. I remember the new dungeons this time. There are still some good teams for both of them, but the Steel Fortress is much easier. So I'd recommend starting with Steel Fortress first. And then the more you get artifacts, the stronger your team will be for when you go to the Punisher's Crypt, for when you try to tackle the B12 dungeons, even though the B12 dungeons, I already did some videos. We're going to do plenty more videos after that as well. Also, you get extra artifacts, hero plus artifacts. You get artifact hero times... Oh, no, not hero plus. Just hero. Just hero artifacts. When you complete a certain amount of missions, 5, 10, 15. And then we have this also, Event 2. All you have to do is complete it once. Giants B12, Dragons B12, Necro B12, Steel Fortress B10, and Punisher's Crypt B10. By the way, guys, I don't know. I heard some people talking about Steel Fortress B12 and Punisher's Crypt B12. There's no B12 of those dungeons. I don't know why people were talking about them. Also, this one, we get some dimensional hole energy, which is nice for if you want to build a new 2A monster that may be helpful. I don't think any of the 2As are really like super premium that weren't already good before for this new content. Because the ones that are good in here are the ones that have already been good. It's not like it's like, oh, the Light Warbearer is really good in this new content. Like, wait, is he? No, no. Just go, Bagel. Just go with default no for that. Anyway, and then we have this light dark. We got some ancient coins. We got a re-up. We got some rainbow bonds to help you 6-star your wind and dark vampires. I know. To help you 6-star your dark jack-o'-lantern. Bagel, I don't want to build a dark jack. To help you 6-star your dark jack-o'-lantern. To help you 6-star your dark jack-o'-lantern. Bagel, I'm not building that monster. We'll play with other stuff too. There's a lot of stuff I want to build. Oh my god, I'm building and I'm doing videos on all these different dungeons on all these different accounts. But anyway, just a quick video to recap. This is a nice event though. This is just it's just above average. Pop this mystical scroll. And then let's go take a look at the no, I don't want to. Oh, whatever. Anyway, let's go take a look at the unit that I was talking about for super easy, cheesy Giants B10. Now we're here on the Europe server. Before I forget, there's something else that I wanted to mention. There is a new code for, I don't really talk about these codes too much, because I don't really care about them. But I know you guys care about them, so I should make it a point to try and relay the information of whatever codes that we have for you to type in the game to get that 2020 August 82 SW 2020 August 82 is for Free Fire Scroll. It's just codes that Comtois does every so often for free stuff. And then AF. I don't see anyone doing this just yet. Maybe some people already started, but I think if we're going to be talking about artifacts all the time, like we talk about Rune is 4 letters. It's easy to type out. Artifact, 8 letters. Can we just call it AF? Like I know because we have Steel Fortress SFB10, right? SFB10. SF10, PC10, Punisher Script 10. People are already using that abbreviation. I just feel like Artifact, AF, talking about artifacts, is going to be a really easy way to just, instead of type artifact, isn't it? It's nice. It's nice and easy. I don't ever want to type artifact 9,000 times in chat every time I want to talk about artifact. Anyway, that's just some stuff that I wanted to talk about. So, Giants B10, easy cheesy. Oh, I see Shannon there. This is a lot of people doing Giants B10, having some problems with it, have found that Shannon is actually a really effective unit. She actually doesn't need to be Second Awakened and 6-starred. She works just fine. Same with B10. She works really good at just normal even. Right? If you want to Second Awaken her, you can. She works better Second Awaken. She works better 6-starred. If you don't have the resources or you just don't feel like it, she works just fine without being Second Awaken either. It's just more reliable when she actually is. Not more reliable. It just works better. It's smoother. It's faster when she is Second Awaken. So if you're having trouble with that, it's just a 3-turn, very consistent 3-turn defense buff. This is why people were using Shannon. Like all the old teams that worked like in the beginning, like all your first Giants and Dragons and Necro teams, actually work better now. Because the speed teams don't quite work anymore because the stats are different. Also, a big thing is the resistance in these dungeons is increased. That's why people are having a really hard time with the, I don't know what the exact resistance is, but there's really crazy resistance for these dungeons, and that's why people are having trouble with the landing debuffs on them, getting the strips on the dragon. It's like, why is this not working? Why is this not working? Why is not? Because the resistance is very high, right? So don't worry about going too crazy about like, oh, I must speed run this dungeon. It's better to just have a little bit slower team and have safe and consistent and at least farming the dungeon with something, right? So yeah, one of the beautiful things about Shannon, she's got a slow, which is going to potentially desync the giant from the towers. She also has, of course, the 3-turn defense. The 3-turn defense buff is huge, and she's got a glancing hit as well. So for the same reasons that she used to be good, she's still good / good again. I mean, she hasn't ever really been bad, but she's got, and it's very consistent. That defense buff is very consistent. She has it available all the time. So team works great, just fine. It's not like 20-30 seconds, right? But it's not 20-30 seconds, but it is at least a team. Just stick her in there and she's good to go. You're good to go for clearing Giants B12. Let's go hop on free to win and let's see. I mean, it's not super fast, but well, here's the thing. It's not super fast yet because remember, all of these units don't have any artifacts on them, right? Don't have any artifacts. By the way, Shannon is just on, actually, she doesn't even have skill ups. We're on, you know what? I didn't even realize she didn't have skill ups. But I guess it makes sense. We get a decent amount of good stuff on this account. But she's just on speed HP. Excuse me, despair focus. And she does fine that way. She's not a DPS unit. You don't have to worry about crit rate, crit damage, attack power on her. Just make her fast and tanky on despair with good accuracy. That's the biggest thing. And then you should be just fine, good to go for Shannon, and have no problem with her. What else did I mention? Did I want to mention? Oh, these things don't have any artifacts on them, right? No artifacts on any of these units. Fran doesn't need to be this good. We just use her in RTA a lot on this account, so that's why she's a little bit on the fast side with the will. She doesn't quite need to be that level of Fran. It's just I don't want to like re-rune her with worse runes just to show that she's good with worse runes. It's Fran. As long as you just make her fast and tanky, and you should be fine. But when all of these things are artifacted, then we are going to be able to do more speed teams because we're going to have the stats, we're going to have the extra damage, and and everything else we need to finish the dungeons off faster and more consistently. We're gonna have more tankiness on our units. So all of this stuff doesn't have artifacts yet, and that's why we don't have the stats, the extra stats, because this is basically like not artifacted, is basically like having 2 runes missing. So it's like trying to beat Giants B10 or Dragons B10 with only 4 runes. Like, it's hard to try to beat Giants and Dragons and Necropolis with 4 runes. So right now we're using 6 runes, but no artifacts. And those artifacts are basically like runes, right? So it's like we're using 2 runes are missing, and we're like, oh, it's hard to beat the new B12 dungeons because we're missing effectively the equivalent of 2 runes on each unit. So it's going to be a big difference when everything is fully artifacted. You're going to see that these dungeons become much easier. So anyway, let's go to... so I just wanted to mention that because I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's so hard, it's so hard. Like, after you farm artifacts, it will get easier, right? The B12 dungeons will get easier. That's why I think a lot of us are... well, that's one of the reasons that a lot of us are focused on artifact farming. But I would say, right now, if I was like mid-game and I'm not like, oh, what am I gonna do? I would say I would focus on Steel Fortress. It's the easier of the 2 artifact dungeons, to try to build a nice team for that. And then I would get a little bit crazier in like trying to tackle B12 of Giants, Dragons, Necro, because you're gonna have just more stats. It's like at least get some artifacts on your units first before, you know, going crazy trying to tackle, if you can't already tackle the B12 dungeons. Anyway, like I said, let's go on to free to win. Let's see how Shannon does. 5-star with no second awakening on that account. Here we are on free to win now. We're using a fairly similar, actually we're using almost the same team, except we don't have the Lucian, and we have this this cat instead. So she's just on attack or damage attack. She's actually has some, weirdly enough, she has some grinds. There's no, I don't think we tackled any of those new dungeons with this. Shannon is also Despair. She is just fast on speed. Amazing runes. These were runes from like the first couple weeks that we had the account, because we never 6-starred Shannon. Let's see what she does. But basically just fast and tanky on Despair. I think she has good accuracy. I think she has some accuracy. I don't know. But let's see. Basically, I don't want to just go into a random channel. I go into random channels all the time. I know a lot of people ask me like, wait, what channel do you hang out in? I'm like, I never know what channel I'm going to be hanging out in, because I just put 4 numbers in, and then that's the channel that I'm in, right? So anyway, yeah, Shannon's such a solid unit. She was a unit, like a core unit for Giants B10 initially, and now she is a solid unit again. And the funny thing is that free to win account, weirdly enough, actually it's not weird, I'll explain why it is. I don't know why I even said weird, because it's really not weird. Free to win actually is not having too much of a problem with it. Watch, we fail this dungeon now. Not having too much of a problem with these dungeons. Fail. Defeat. No, it's not having too much of a problem with these B12 dungeons, because the teams have always been kind of on the more slow support safe side, instead of trying to be like speed run, right? So look at that Shannon almost. Well, it's the we didn't have any glancing hit on that tower. He does do a lot of ignore defense damage though. Those water crystals, especially in B12, right? Especially B12. So again, like I was saying, she took a decent amount of damage. You could also put a set of shield on the team, and then it would be a little bit more reliable if there's a set of shield. But even she took a counterattack there. There's no glancing hit on the boss, but she should have her defense buff next time she gets a turn. Yeah, she got a defense buff next time she gets a turn. But the boss still does not have a glancing hit, which the boss should have a glancing hit. That'd be nice. So she's still doing her skill 2. Maybe just missed the glancing hit. But again, like the team works. Team is great. Shannon just subbing something out, subbing like a DPS unit out for Shannon. Makes all the it's actually kind of fairly. It's kind of like a fundamental team anyway. It's Fran, Lauren, Crow, and then whatever else, right? So we got the cat in here. The Lucian, the other team. The Lucian's, of course, going to make it faster, clear the waves faster. But, man, I've been free to win since it's more safe, slower, safer support stuff. We actually didn't have any problems with these B12 dungeons, because we were already running slower, safer teams anyway. So it's kind of weird that this is the account that has had like almost no problem with it, but the reason is because we've already been doing the way we've been approaching dungeons has already been the way that we were supposed to approach the B12s. Anyway, because Comptos wants us to, they want to reward us with better runes, but they also want to be like, you guys got to stop going crazy with speed runs. You guys are trying to get like 20-second run. Hey man, they took one wave out of Giants and Dragons. What do they expect us to do? Of course we're going to 20-second runs it, right? Anyway, that's it for this one. Just want to give you guys a little tip on using Shannon, because she's been very effective in making things extremely reliable for B12 dungeons. Of course, Fran, Lauren, Crow, Shannon, already good. Stick a Lucian in there, it's going to be faster. Stick a Windcat if you don't have a Lucian if you're early game, and it should be fine, and you should be able to, well, hopefully you should be able to run these things. But Shannon just fast, tanky. And if you find that she's dying like with those crystals, with the blast from the crystals, if you find that she's dying from that, then you can just go like a set of shield on Fran even, and that's fine. If you're not using your Fran for like PvP, you can just stick a set of shield on the Fran, and that's also going to help you in Necro. Anyway, that's it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you as always in the next one.